Today on Melanated Conversations, we amplify the voice of coach, speaker, author, and strategist Tanya J. Miller. Tanya is a certified life coach with over 18 years of experience working with youth, young adults, and women throughout her community and in ministry to pursue purpose, passion, vision, and destiny. In today's chat, Tanya shares her own personal story of how the women in her life impacted her self-confidence, which ultimately led to the writing of her book, Things My Mama Said, as well as how her faith impacts how she chooses to inspire and motivate others to tap into their God-given purpose, release their passion, and set out on their vision to pursue their destiny. Listen in as we chat with the creator of Talking with Tanya, Tanya J. Miller. Welcome to Melanated Conversations, our narrative and our perspective.
Here on the podcast, we are amplifying the voices of Black women and sharing their powerful stories of transformation.
I'm Tyrion.
And I'm Yana. Let's start the show.
Welcome back to another episode of Melanated Conversations. I'm your co-host, Tyrion.
And I'm your co-host, Yana.
And we have a special guest with us today.
Yes.
Welcome. I'm sorry, I didn't even let you get your yes out.
Yes.
We've got Miss Tanya J. Miller in the building with us. Well, she's not in the building, but she's actually one of our closer guests, I would say.
Yeah, she is actually.
Yeah. So, repping the great state of Texas. Welcome. And thank you so much for joining us today, Tanya.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to be on with some fellow DFW Texas in the house.
Yay. Hey. Well, let's go ahead and forego all the pleasantries and let's hop into our rapid fire round. You ready?
Pew, pew, pew.
Pew, pew, pew. I was like, what you pausing for?
No. So quick question for you, Tanya. And also to Terry and I will both answer these questions.
Yes,
so
we
you're
will.
not left hanging here. But first question I want to throw at you. Would you rather have no internet or have no phone?
I'm going to go with no phone because you know how it is sometimes when your cell phone bill not paid, you can still get on Wi-Fi. You can make some Wi-Fi phone calls. So I'm gonna say no phone. I'll be all right with no phone.
Yeah.
That was gonna be my answer too, because I'm like, even with if you have your computer, you can take that everywhere you go.
Exactly.
You can go into a quick Starbucks or somewhere, make you a call if you need to.
Make a little connect.
And our business, right? And our businesses mostly are run through online, and you need internet for that. So we're not. Honestly, I even take most of my calls through the internet, so rather than on my phone. So through Zoom and things like that. So yeah, I need my internet.
Okay, 2 for internet, 2 for the internet.
Yeah,
The nets be winning.
Well, who's it called? What did they say? So and so's internet.
Al Gore's internet.
Yeah.
In the year of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, I am Al Gore's internet. I'm going 3. We're gonna go 3 for 3. I'm going for the internet too. It's pretty much the same reason because you can do, okay, say you don't have your phone or you can't, we don't have phones, then, we can still access all the different apps and websites and all the other stuff you need on your computer. So, you can do the same stuff you do on your computer via the internet. Right. That you do on your phone, because I feel like your phone is just a handheld computer anyway. So, also
for the sake of this question, though, I think too the essence of it is that you can't have a phone at all.
No, I know, yeah.
No, I'm saying even you can't even use it just for internet. You can't it's either this line or this line.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about the phones do not exist.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Internet, as long as there's a tower somewhere. Internets. Okay, I got the second question.
Yeah, go
My
ahead.
bad. I'm slow. Okay, Tanya, would you rather never be able to speak ever again, or would you want to be able to say everything that is on your mind?
Want to be able to say what? I'm sorry?
Say everything that's on your mind. So never speak or say whatever's on your mind.
I'm sorry. Why you hella killing us like this? Oh my God. Would I rather not speak, or would I rather be able to say everything on my mind? Mm-hmm. See, that's the whole problem. I'm gonna say not. I'm gonna say that I would rather not speak, because y'all don't want to know what's on my mind. So I'm gonna say I would rather not speak, because if I was to say everything on my mind, we would all be in trouble.
You seem like a straight shooter.
I'd rather not speak.
You seem like you're a straight shooter too. Like you seem like you don't hold anything back.
Yeah. I'm gonna say I'd rather not speak. I mean, I'd rather not. Yeah, that's the better solution. Because even if I don't speak, I'm gonna be honest. I get it from my mama. My facial expressions is a mess anyway. Still,
right.
So I'll be giving you off face anyway. Even if I can't say it, my face don't say it too. So. Yeah, I'll be all right with not speaking. It'll be a better solution. I have to take the grace with that one. I can do it.
Okay.
I'm going to go against the grain. For all the reasons that she said she's not is the reasons I am. I want my voice to be heard. Sometimes, you got to get the truth out there. And, I get sometimes I think about like maybe some things that I'm thinking in my head should not be said. Right. But if the alternative is not ever being able to speak in my voice, then I'm gonna have to hit you with some things you may not want to hear to make sure the things that I want to that you want to hear is gonna get out there. So you gonna hear me. I'm sorry if you're walking by me. I'm like, ooh, a little funky.
Maybe have a solution for the person, okay? Here's a little deodorant, sweetheart.
I'm going to have to just kind of get my mind to say it and always try to craft it in a nicer way.
In a constructive manner.
But sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes the truth is just the truth, and that's just what it is, what it's going to be, okay?
What about you?
Yeah, so I was just thinking about, I think, my personality. So I love to talk, but ironically, at the same time, I do tend to be reserved sometimes, I think, in just how I may respond to someone, or I try to be nice or whatever. And so I think, I would love, in the words of Monique, I would like to see it. I would like to see myself be able to say whatever is going on in my head. And it's just, it can be whatever, and it's going to be what it is.
We can't be both out here speaking our minds.
I mean,
one of us got to be quiet.
No, I'm tired of being quiet. So yeah, I'm going with you. I'm going with that, y'all. Let me say whatever I want to say.
Trouble. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, I think that wraps up our rapid fire round.
Yeah,
that was fun. Quick and easy. That was painless, right, Tanya?
I appreciate you being a good sport about it. But the reason we're here today is we want to actually have a chat with you. We're excited to hear more about you and your platform with TJM LLC and all the great work that you're doing with your platform. But before we get into that, just want you to share a little bit with our listeners, a little bit about you and your origin story.
Who is Tanya?
Sure. So as she has shared, I am from the great state of Texas, born and raised here. I moved to Virginia. We've been back here for a few years now, but I am an author. I'm a speaker, life coach, strategist. I've been kind of, if you will, I got to where I am now from the journey of me getting here, meaning a lot of what I do now, I realized when I started looking back, I've been doing it my whole life, like not even just doing it my whole life, but even trained for it, built for it, prepared for it. I was thinking like a little while ago, like I've been doing public speaking since I was like 3 or 4 years old. How did that happen? How did I not realize that I was, doing that type of stuff? Yeah. I used to write plays for our children's ministry while I was a child. You know what I'm saying? So I was writing. Back then, I was doing different things, and I just began to realize all of what I do now, I've been doing it my whole life. I graduated school early, so I became an assistant youth director of our youth department, like at 16. So that's why, if you see in my bio, I've been doing, counseling, coaching, some type of work with teens and young adults and women for as long as I have, because I got started very early. So, it's just been my heart and my passion to, basically help people figure out how to do life right and well, how to do life and leadership, because at the end of the day, we got to figure out how to do life, but we also leaders of our life as well. We're leaders of the purpose that's in us. We're leaders of the assignments that we're to do. And so I want to help people figure that out, because life can get crazy, and most definitely, you need help sometimes with just figuring out how to fit it together, fit those puzzle pieces together. So that's what I aim to do. And I've just been doing it kind of for a good while. And this is kind of the end, if you will, of where I began. So I'm happy to be on to talk with you guys more about it. So fire away.
Yeah.
Shoot me them questions.
Yeah. So, did you have a follow-up?
No.
Okay. So we know, through your brand, Tanya J Miller LLC, that your sole mission is to help people and organizations figure out how to fit the puzzle pieces of life together, so that they can do life and leadership unapologetically and on purpose. Can you walk us through your process of coaching?
Sure. So kind of like when I was talking with you guys, I'm a very conversational person. Even how my blog, I call it Talking with Tanya. Like, literally, I want to talk with you. Like, I want to kind of just, number one, make sure that you're comfortable, and make sure, it's an environment where you feel that you can be real with me. Because if you're not going to be real with me or yourself, then there's no reason for us to continue on. I could just go home and let you go. I don't need to take your donation. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. But, it's more for me about really first hearing what's on your heart, what's on your mind, and where you're trying to, where you're at, and versus where you're trying to go. So a lot of times the early sessions, if you will, are just kind of hearing, not that I'm doing counseling or therapy, but I do have to still have some of those mindsets, if you will, with coaching, to be able to at least hear where you're at. It's not necessarily, and I can't go as deep as therapists and counselors go, but I at least need to know where you're at, so I can help you to pivot if necessary, if I can help you to transition if necessary, or if I can help you to retarget, or even I can help you to aim higher. I got to see where you're at first. And so a lot of what we're doing in the beginning is some of that discussion and talking, because I could easily throw some tests at you, do a spiritual gift test, do a DISC assessment, do an Enneagram test. I can have you do all of those different type of tests. And, the thing I always feel about those tests is they kind of speak to you for where you're at right now.
Yeah.
Because we're growing, we're constantly changing. And yes, some of who the core you are is going to remain, but also some of the situation you may be in may be interfering with who you really are, and what may be presented on those tests. So first, I kind of want to diagnose that, if you will. And so from there, we lead into going to kind of, game plan, or if you will, strategize, get some, figure out the purpose, figure out the passion, start aiming towards what the next vision, aka goals, are that you're trying to do, and stair step that thing, because I need you to do steps. I don't need you to feel like you're going to go run the marathon when you ain't even did the 50-yard dash in 5 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I kind of work and how we get started.
Yes. And you should have a follow-up?
Yeah, I was just going to say quickly that I like how you say because you're a conversational person, how you want to make sure your clients feel comfortable with you to be able to share where they're at, and you not just kind of going in and immediately being like, okay, like let's try to fix you, but really just letting them feel comfortable enough with you to be able to open up and share. That's all I was going to say. I like that.
No, that's good. That's good. And it kind of ties into what I was thinking about, and also some things that I noticed from your platform, that I noticed that you kind of offer life coaching with a Christian worldview, and within like your coaching specialty, how does your faith impact your coaching style, if at all? And kind of what is your specialty? Like, what is your like core thing of your coaching style? Like, because I know you coach various individuals in different groups, and you also reach out to organizations as well. How does that play into your coaching?
So, I mean, first and foremost, I am a believer. I don't think if you follow my platform, look me up, research me, know that, you're going to know that I'm a believer, period.
Yeah.
But I'm also a person that I know there's balance. And I kind of, the very thing of me saying I want to get to you for wherever you're at, I mean that. So I'm not necessarily going to not work with you because you're not a believer, or because you're not, of the same core values and different things like that. Obviously, you want to work with me for a reason. It's something on me that you like, that you need. So I shouldn't be worried about me not being me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's definitely kind of what I know and present. And I think even, if you will, a lot of times, I tell people, let's have that first kind of introductory session and just kind of that consultation to see if I'm a good fit for you, because you could have did all the research and all this and all that, but I need you to see if you're a good fit for me as well.
Yeah.
You be like, oh yeah, you're a good fit, but you might not be a good fit for me either. Like, you might not be I may not be able to provide what you need. So I'm gonna be honest with you on that and say that as well. My faith is my faith. My belief is my belief. So that won't change. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to present to you what you need in the area that you need. I mean, if I'm talking in corporate America, the essence of who I am and the integrity that I have and the characteristics are going to stand for themselves. And you're going to know that it's deeply rooted in who I am, and it's going to express itself. So I don't need to say I'm a Christian life coach, or I don't need to say I'm a Christian speaker, or I don't need to say I'm a Christian author. That's just who I am. Yeah. And that's in me. That won't change. You ask kind of what are my core coaching. A lot of people say, I'm a vision coach. I'm a confidence coach, or everything like that. I kind of stick with saying I'm a life coach because life can hit in so many ways. And so in leadership, those are the core of what I deal with, life and leadership. But the pillars of my brand. And so if anything, what you're going to see resilient throughout and resonating throughout everything that I do, my books, my message merge, my classes, when I'm speaking, are always going to point you back to the 4 pillars of my brand, which are purpose, passion, vision, and destiny. So I'm going to hit you first with who are you? What's your purpose? Why are you here? And from there, that's when we'll dig in further to what you're trying to accomplish, what you need. But at the end of the day, I need to dig into who are you? What's your purpose? Do you know that? Do you know who you are and why you're here? And we're going to go from there.
Yeah, I think that's great. I love the fact that excuse me, that you talk about how, you speak about your faith, but at the same time, you don't consider yourself a Christian coach or a Christian motivator. Like, that is just rooted in who you are. And that's going to be evident in how how you present yourself, how you interact with people, regardless of whether or not they align with you, as far as faith, religion, morals, or any of those things. But you're always going to your light's going to shine regardless, and it's going to be evident. I love that. Faith is extremely important to me, and I feel the same way you do when it just comes to doing life. No matter who you interact with, like, I'm not going to write you off because we don't believe or think the same way. I'm always going to show you love no matter what, because at the end of the day, that's what we're called to do. I want to ask you about your 4 pillars: purpose, passion, vision, and destiny. Can you walk us through those 4 pillars and break them down a little bit for us and our listeners?
Sure. So, even though I say purpose first, it flows better. But it starts with passion. The passion, I need to know what excites you, what ignites you, what gets you up in the morning, what puts a smile on your face, what is the thing that, if somebody talks about it, if somebody brings it up, if they compliment you about it, what makes you be positive. So I kind of want to start digging into that and the passion, because if I can figure out where your passion lies, that's where your purpose is, or, you know, they say that's where your treasure is. But that's where your purpose is, because that's why you're here. You're not just happy about that thing for nothing. It's something in you, aka the passion that's igniting the purpose. And so I start digging into that. And so from the purpose, you know, I then am able to formulate and work with you for whatever the reason you're coming to me for. You know, it may be, you know, starting a business. It may be going back to school. It may be just, you know, working through some steps that you're trying to take to make a better lifestyle, or a better family, or a better, you know, a better wife, whatever the case may be. But knowing what your passion and your purpose is, aka why you're doing it and why you want to do it, I can then help you to figure out the vision, which are the goals, which are the steps, which are the things that you're aiming towards. Because a lot of times, if you just look at the big thing, then you get consumed by it and you never figure out how to do the little things to get there. And that's so good. You know, that's where the vision comes. I think when I think of destiny, I call that the big thing, because, you know, people can see that and I'm like, I want to be there. I want to be there, you know, when they're doing the vision boards. I want to be there. I want that. I want this. But if you don't ever actually put a vision in place, a mission in place, you don't put goals and steps, you'll never get to the big thing. You'll never get to destiny. You just have this dream board, and that's it, and it'll never come into play. And so, if you will, I look at my pillars as a wheel. You know, it's a wheel that keeps turning. There's always, you know, going to be, you know, as you change, as you grow, as you evolve, as you, you know, go through seasons and times in your life, the passion, the purpose, the vision, and the destiny won't change, because it's the core of who you are. But things that you do to accomplish them will. So that's where the wheel keeps turning. That's where, you know, whatever time you come work with me, that's where we plug in and we try to get you so that you keep turning, you keep moving, you keep going forward. So, yeah, that's kind of the pillars of the brand, but it's the core of the essence of my life coaching and what I work with you through as well.
Love that. That's great.
Yes, I love that. Love that. I was just thinking about, you know, going let's kind of go back a little bit, because I know that you started off with Talking with Tanya as a blog over 15 years ago. What what inspired your blog?
So remember I said this is the end. TJM LLC, Tanya J Miller, the company, is where I ended. So Talking with Tanya started, oh my God, what is this, 2020? So it started about 15 years ago in 2005 as part of a nonprofit that I had called the 20s AD. 20s AD, basically, I still have, I'm just not 20 no more, but I have a heart for the 20-something age group, and just that whole 20s and 30s, but more even the 20s as well, just the young adult period, because I feel like there's so much that happens in that time frame. You literally graduate high school and have to figure out your whole life. You've got to figure out if you're going to go to college, go in the military, go to trade school, or sit down in your mama's house and not know what you're going to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then once you figure that out, you got to, you know, if you go to college, okay, now I got to go get a job. Now I got to, you know, go do life. Now I have to actually pay bills and be responsible. Oh, and then I got this college debt. You know, I be in the military, you got to continue to figure out, am I going to re-enlist? Am I going to go on this tour? You know, if you're in trade school, like, do I keep going? You know, if you're at home, like, okay, am I going to get my life together this year? I'm turning 25. You know what I'm saying? Mess around and get married. Okay, I got a whole lot of life, you know, or have kids or whatever. And I feel like a lot of times, and I still feel this way, that's where not just the church, not just kingdom, but that's where the world leaves us. It's a lot of the times we get lost in that, and we get missed in that age group, because there's so much change. Like, I feel like that's the time period where it's rapid change, consistent change. And if there's nobody there to help them, guide them, coach them, be with them, and not still try and cultivate the gift, not still trying to see the gift, not still trying help them to activate it, they can easily be left aside and just say, oh, well, they just growing, they just going through life. No, don't just let them go through life alone, you know? Yeah. So that's where my heart and passion was. And when I started a nonprofit. So in addition to leadership, I'm huge on mentorship. Like, that's like one of my babies. Like, that's my heart. A lot of times I help in my organizational strategy or leadership development. I do mentorship framework programs for organizations I work with. But that was a piece of what I did. Kind of the core of the nonprofit was mentorship. And in it, I did that. But I was like, you know, I want to do these sessions. I call them sessions where we would meet up with the 20s and kind of talk through life and leadership and talk through, you know, gifts and, you know, all these different things. So I think I had those like once a month or quarterly, but I still wanted to keep interacting because I was doing it across, at least at that time, Fort Worth, Texas. And so I was like, well, I still need to, you know, as I'm meeting and we're growing, like if they can't make it, I want to connect with them. So I started talking with Tanya. And it was not called that at first. It was just the email. And I tell people, 15 years ago, there was no social media. There wasn't no email, no Google. Listen, we had that SBC Global, and the AOL, right, and Black all them emails, and so you know, the evolution of where Talk with Tanya has gotten to over the years is here, but it started as just the email, and I didn't have a name at first. I was just kind of sending out motivation, like maybe once or twice a week, and I would get all these comments and feedback, and people would be like, I just feel like you talking right to me. Like, I feel like you know exactly what's going on, and you're in my head. Like, how is that possible? And I was like, I think I'm going to call this Talking with Tanya. And so that's where I finally finalized the name. And, you know, throughout the years, the past 15 years, you know, there's been breaks. I tell people, I say, because listen, I done got married, I done moved across the country. Yeah, I done had some breaks in there, but consistently, I've had an essence and a presence with Talk with Tanya. And so, I just kept it going, and I made it a part of the brand of Tanya J. Miller, LLC, my business, my core of who I am as an author, speaker, coach. I brought it along. I dissolved the nonprofit, but I brought it along because it was still who I was, and I still wanted to help people figure out how to do life right, help people figure out how to pick up the pieces, and I still wanted to just be there. And so I continued on to Talk with Tanya, and apparently people still love it, so that's why I'm still here.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's longevity. Right. That's great. That is absolutely great. I want to ask you, we know that you're an author, and you've got quite a few works that you've penned. What inspired you, or what inspired the creation of your books? And the second part to that is because I noticed you had journals that accompanied some of those books. Yeah. What made you pair these journals in conjunction with your literary works?
Okay, so I'm going to answer your second part first.
Sure.
The reason I do journals, prayer journals, guides, something, a workbook, is because I feel like I don't want to just give you all of this in a book and you're like, oh, that was nice. I want to give you something that you can actually, now I'm gonna hold you to it, and I'm like, okay, let's do this work. Let's get this work. Let's talk about and do everything that I said in this book, because I'm not just gonna be like, oh, that's nice. That's not enough for me. Yeah. So it's even a form of coaching. Like, okay, you may never decide to do one-on-one coaching with me because that might not be in your budget. But you may be able to purchase my books, and my book and my journal, and you can help. You can do, self-guided. Y'all remember in school where they have them self-guided courses? You can do self-guided coaching and go that route, with books on those particular topics and subjects. So that's what it was about. Like, I wanted you to be able to apply what we talked about.
Yes. No, I was going to say that was one of the things that was that caught me in Terrian's eye. We were like, because we were like, it's like the work that you really, it's still like coaching through your book. So you still apply not only are you getting the knowledge, but you can apply it in your own way through the journal. So we like that. And
that's forward thinking. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, because I like what you said about how, you can read a book and it could be profound, right? And it can even be life changing for some people. But it's like, okay, that was knowledge that I've stored, but really kind of you give people the opportunity to work those things out within their own lives, personally for them. So I love the fact that you even thought forward to be like, hey, no, I'm going to put a journal along with this so that people can do the work themselves, and kind of watch transformations happen in their own lives. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Yana.
No, you're good. While we're on the topic of books, your books that you've authored, one in particular that Terry and I was very intrigued by, because we're both mothers, was your book, My Mama Said. And we were interested because we know that you provide like personal stories. They're compiled. And we were wondering, were there stories from your own childhood with your mother, or were these like compiled from like various other women sharing their wisdom?
No, that's for real. That's for my mama.
Oh, just your mom. Really?
The book cover. If you've seen the book cover of the book or the journal, that's me.
Oh, that is so. I was wondering if that was you and your mom too. Yes.
On the book, that's me and my mom, and on the journal, that's me. Everybody be like, "Oh, she's so pretty." They be like, "How come?" And then my mom, she works with me a lot of times too, because she also got her life coaching certification, and she's a first lady, so she's been doing what she's been doing for a long time. Okay. And so when she's with me, they be like, "That's both of you." I'm like, "Yeah, that's us. Y'all thought this was somebody else, so this us. This real life." But yeah, so the crazy part, I'll tell you. So remember, I told y'all I've had a talk with Tay for like 15 years, right? Well. And y'all see, I talk to you, I'm conversational. So quite naturally, I talk about my mama, my daddy, just whoever. He'd be like, "Stop talking about me." He'll tell me that, like, "Don't talk about me." I said, "Well, that's what the preachers do in the pulpit. My daddy did us like that growing up. So, this is just my way of doing it too. It just it. But, so I've had talk with Tanya a lot of time, and everybody would be like, "Man, like, your mama is dope, like she crazy, like she did that, like for real." And so I just ended up, and it actually was a total blessing, and I'll tell you why in a second. But I ended up, after I did my first project, Mom Matters, I was like, okay, it's time for you to do things my mama said. And so, because that wasn't going to be my second project, but it just happened. And so, ended up working on it. I asked my two brothers, my little sister. There's 8 of us, but there's 4 with my mom and dad. So I asked my 2 brothers, my little sister, and then my cousin, who basically grew up. She was with us like 95% of her life. So I asked those for first permission, because some of the stories was going to be about them. Yeah. And then I asked them for some sayings. And so basically it's me still writing them, but they helped me come up with some of the things that my mom would say to us, like, because I wanted a good solid number. I think I did 20. And then I told the story. First I told the saying, then I told a story behind that saying when it happened and something happened. And then I shared the life lesson, meaning how we look back now after what she was telling us then, what she meant, and what she was trying to prepare us for, to how to, to do life, to be able to be a leader, to be able to, just being real, being an African-American, being an African-American male, being an African-American woman, and still figuring out how to do this thing in this world, because sometimes we're not accepted, sometimes we're not loved, sometimes we're not appreciated. So you got to figure out, as Chandra Rhimes said, for Olivia Pope, for what Olivia Pope heard from her daddy, we got to be 10 times better. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So those type of things, we've all heard some of them, and so some of you may have heard from. But if y'all from Texas, then y'all might have heard some of these too, because some of these is from East Texas as well. But that's how it started. That's volume 1. I got so much just feedback about volume 1 that I'm working on volume 2, and that one will expand or extend to, my mom. It'll be like a few with my mom. There was one from my granny in the book, rest in peace. My granny actually just passed this Tuesday. So I'm so excited. Just even know I'm going to capture more of her in volume 2. I'm capture some of her sisters that have passed. They'll be in there, some of their things. Cause I was that little girl that was always sitting around the old folk. Yeah, I went and played, but I also like to sit around at their feet and just soak in the wisdom and the knowledge. And so I remember that, because a lot of people say you sound way older than who you are. I said, well, I got some old folk in me. I got that good wisdom in me. And I'm grateful for those opportunities, because they're gone now. Most of them are all gone. Yeah. But their life lessons will live on in me, in my books, and I'll be able to share those with people around the world. So I'm eternally grateful. And the one thing I was going to add before I get back to you is that I'm glad that I did things my mama said when I did it, because when I released it on Mother's Day. And so I had a big surprise program and book release that I did at my dad and mom's church. My brother flew in to surprise her, and my sister, who actually just passed this past summer, she came and preached, and she preached for my mom. And so I have all those memories, and it would not have been me triggering I'll just be honest, the Holy Spirit putting it on my heart to push out things my mama said when I did. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's those memories. So I'm like, when I look back about it, I'm like, God, that was all you. Like, that's amazing. Like, yes, I know this book is helping other people, but this is like a memory that my family will have for life. Like, I have, so it really just touches my heart, that book or whatever. But volume 2 is coming out. I'm working on it, but before that comes out, I have 2 more projects that I'm working on, one of which is called Due Season, and my sister is a part of that, and she talks about her journey of fighting breast cancer. So I'm so excited, honestly, that I said yes to be an author. I had already been publishing, so I was a writer, but now I'm an author, and I just love the stories and like I said, the life lessons and the life and leadership I'm able to share, and the coaching that I'm able to do, because I'm all about real life, because it happens, and I just want to help you figure it out. So that was the long answer.
No, that was perfect. That was great.
That's long-winded.
No, that was perfect, and it takes us a little bit more deeper into kind of like, because you sometimes can connect with the writers and the authors and some of the things they do, but you don't get the full sometimes story and gamut behind what that piece is. And I love the fact that you created this you basically, opened your home in a sense to the world, and took us into a glimpse of like how you were raised and how, some of the pivotal sayings and things that played into the core of who you are. And in turn too, you created this personal keepsake for you and your family, to just something tangible that carries on that tradition in your family. So I admire you, and I love the fact that you are transparent throughout this journey, and you share that with the world. So good for you, and yes, and all the best for the next volume.
Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah.
And I don't know if you shared this or not, but did you say that this was a surprise? Did your mom know that you were putting this project together, or were you just like doing this collection and that you made this like a full surprise for her?
So I got her permission, because I'm a big person, especially when I'm doing, like you said, I'm opening up on those levels, and I'm bringing deeper aspects in, and it's not just my story to tell. I'm a big person on that when it comes to writing, and that's kind of even somehow I kind of do a little bit author coaching. I don't know how that happens, but I kind of do that sometimes too. And so I'm a big person on, as an author, that's forever. So I always am about make sure you get permission. And so I did get her permission about it. And when I got the final project, I gave it to her to read, because if she did not give me her seal of approval, it would not be getting published. But after that, she didn't know what the book covers were going to look like. She did not know that I was doing a surprise book release at the church. She didn't know who was coming. She didn't know my niece. She's a psalmist. She's actually my sister's daughter that passed. She's a psalmist. And artist, and she came and did the worship. So everything was a surprise that day. My mother had no idea of what was happening that day, and so even that, we're capturing her responses. Like she's screaming and hollering because my brother, my older brother, is in for Virginia, and so he literally did not show up. Like he would have been there, but he did not let her know he had been there until he walked through the door at church. So it was beautiful. It was a beautiful experience, beautiful opportunity. That was actually, I think, one of the last times my sister preached at my dad's church. So that was the piece that was all surprised, the whole book release launch service, because she didn't know. She didn't know it was going to be on Mother's Day. She didn't know anything. She didn't know at all. So that was what was all a surprise to her. It's a beautiful memory that we're able to have. But at the same time, I know the book has helped and still helps so many people. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Like Yana said, we get to hear just something a little more deeper and understanding you, and who you are, your character. Just you even talking about how you grew up surrounded by so many women in your family, and the wisdom that you gleaned from them, and that you're able to share that in your writings and in your stories, and excuse me, and then this upcoming volume that you're going to be releasing, I think is beautiful. And just even how even the release of your book kind of just came together, and being able to celebrate your mother, and having your sister there, and just I think that the whole package is not just the book; it's everything else. The small things that surrounded the creation of the book, and how the book was being presented to your family, to the world. Ultimately, I think is absolutely beautiful. I know you kind of touched on, excuse me. Your coaching process and all those things. I would like to know, what does your ideal client look like? Like, can you describe who your ideal client might be? Or what they, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I guess, how do they come to you? How would they come to the table? What would that person look like for you to say, yes, I would like to work with you?
I would think, like I said, I know for sure it would have to be a good fit. So I would definitely hope that they would be receptive to my style and my flow and everything like that. But, it's so crazy that you said that. I was actually having a conversation with this about my husband this week, because I was telling him it's so hard for me to, they tell you in business, and I'm sure you guys get it as well, you need to have a target audience. You need to have like in your mind who that person is that you're talking to. And they say, do the demographics, the age, the marital status, the job, the money, all of that.
Right.
The house and 2 kids type situation. And I tell him, I said, that's difficult for me. I said, because when I think about what I do, I don't see a person. I see a life situation. I see something that they're dealing with and managing. Trying to manage, but they need help with. I said, so that person can be, 60, 75 years old and trying to figure out, how do I not die with my purpose in me? How do I tap into whatever time I have left? And they can come and ask me that. I just had a speaking engagement Tuesday. The same day my grandmother passed, I had a speaking engagement, and it was with the Dallas South Lions Club. Yeah, and nobody I think was under 50.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that.
I could have easily been like, I don't think this is where I'm supposed to be. Like, they're not my age. They don't look like me. Da 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 da. But when I tell you, number one, they helped me that day. Like, I felt like my grandmother was right there with me, and they all, and they were embracing me, and they were receiving of me, and they welcomed me. Not just, oh, this little girl can just come talk, but they really heard me, and all of them, came up and said, like, you have no idea, this message was what we needed. And I talked on purpose and vision. That's it. I didn't look. I wasn't on an age or a race, a demographic. I talked on what they needed, and so that's why I got a marketing guy right now that he was like, "Well, what's your target?" I was like, "I don't know." I said, "I know what it is. I know what my target is. What they need. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you trying to figure out purpose, if you trying to figure out how to activate it, push it, move it." That's, if you're trying to figure out the vision that you should have, like, that's it. Like, I'm being 100% transparent. That is what I struggle with, because it's not what a person looks like. It's what do they need. And if I can give them what they need, then I know I'm for you and you're for me. So I'm just being honest. Like, that is the hard part for me. And I guess the people that work with me that are part of my team and that I outsource with, that's what they get mad at me about. Because I be like, I don't have one. Like, if you look at my, Facebook or Instagram insights, whatever, they be all over the place. Like, the people, the ages, So, because people need what they need. It don't matter what it's like. They just need it. So, yeah, I hope I answered your question. I was just being honest.
No, yeah. I mean, we want you to be honest, and we appreciate that. I think that's great. I think it's cool that you don't have a target audience. I mean, like you said, with the people that you spoke with earlier this week, they're well up in age, but I think sometimes, just like you talk about that demographic in the 20-year-old range, sometimes gets forgotten. It's like, oh, once you get past a certain age, for the older people, they tend to be forgotten too. And it's like, oh, well, you've already lived your life, so you have nothing else to contribute to society, when that's not true. And I think you give those people hope, and you inspire them, and you encourage them to keep pushing, even though they may be on the other side of life, of their latter years, that they still have something to give. And so I think that's great.
I was just going to chime in on it too and just say, yeah, as long as you're living, there's always a lesson to live.
That's right. As long as you got breath in your lungs. Yeah. For sure.
As we kind of close and wrap for the day, Tanya, we've actually enjoyed our conversation with you and talking. But just, I have one final question to ask as it relates to you as an entrepreneur. Because we live this life too, and we know sometimes, this journey can take you on several different ebbs and flows, sometimes all on the same day. But I want to know, like, for you, what would you say has been like one of the most challenging things that you've experienced in your journey, particularly as a Black woman entrepreneur?
I would say, I'm going to be honest, and I would just say being given a chance. I think for me, it's dang, y'all, I feel like y'all all in my Kool-Aid from what we've been talking about this week. My husband, because he's starting back he started back in real estate and started his real estate business back up. And he's kind of talking about some of the same things. And so,
we need to talk offline. I'm sorry. My husband is in the mortgage business, so no.
Hey, he actually looking to connect with and grow, because he was in Virginia, but he's building it here in Texas. So absolutely.
Oh, he's nationwide too. So no, sorry. Keep going. I ain't mean to get you.
But so a lot of what he's talking about is kind of bringing those conversations back up for me and my business or whatever. And so I'll be honest. I've been in business 5 years, but truthfully, transparently, I was still writing, I was still doing, but I had to kind of take a break for about 3 years. So I was out there, but I had kind of pull back because I got really sick. And so as I'm trying to, get my feet wet as far as back again, pushing, working and trying to, get booking for speaking engagements and, events and coaching and, just sessions, business period. It's more or less, I feel like, don't try and just see if I have 20,000 followers on Instagram and 50 on Facebook and 10,000 on YouTube. See me for what I am in my message and evaluate me on that.
Girl, yes.
I'm just being honest with y'all. Like, I feel like sometimes you get caught up in a hoopla, and if I don't bring what you think I should bring in numbers and tribe and in audience, then I'm not worthy enough. I'm not considered enough when I could be the very one that can be a part of your platform or your conference or your workshop that can be what you need. And so, that's been challenging. Like I said, we've been back in Texas about 5 years now. And so even though I was born and raised here, I've been gone. And just being truthful, they don't know the adult Tanya. They know, the relationships I did have. They know the Tanya that left when she was 25. They don't know the adult. And even then I was in college. So they don't know the adult Tanya. So even trying to reintroduce myself and, hey, can you give me a chance? Like, me, like you've been, so it's been very challenging. I'm just being real and honest. And, even just to kind of figure out the ebbs and flows and, the relationships and the connections and the networking. And I'll be honest, the clicks, what I'm saying? Like, if y'all give me a chance, though, like, I understand I might not have been at all 5 of your conferences last year. This is what I'm talking about, what y'all need. So, I'm just being real. Like, so that has been a journey. But, I made up my mind this year because I realized, and y'all in my business this week, but I just made up my mind. And I was like, you know what? Like, I told my husband this week. I said, one thing about it, and I've always known this, is that I'm not for everybody. Mm-hmm. And because I know I'm not for everybody, I need to not be bothered when everybody say no. Mm-hmm. Because somebody gonna say yes. That's and right. Then somebody say yes, or who my people are and where I'm supposed to be. And that's it. And so I made up my mind with that I want to be where I'm needed. I want to be where I'm wanted because I still work a 9 to 5. So I don't need to be on my off time being somewhere that I'm not going to be appreciated, loved, asked for, needed, wanted, requested. I don't need to be trying to fight in to get somewhere that's not, and I'm doing this on my own time, my off one, so I want to make sure that I'm what I do on my own time that I love. And that I'm where I'm supposed to be. And so that's kind of a nutshell of kind of the journey of what it's been and what I just made up my mind and literally just said, I'm not for everybody. And I know that, and so I want to be with the everybody's that want me. And I'm okay with those that don't. And that's where I'm at.
Wow. That's that on that. That's that on that. Tanya, this has been a very awe-inspiring interview with you. You've opened up to us, and we appreciate that greatly. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for being vulnerable with us and sharing, just the little bits of yourself. Yeah.
You have to connect. Y'all in DFW.
Yeah.
we might can meet in the middle. Since you said we on the other side.
Yeah, we can meet in the middle. We're halfway. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
I want to connect with you guys.
Yeah.
Y'all some dope ladies.
Oh, thank you. Same to you. Yes. So before we close, we do have a few closing questions for you. So my first question, which we ask every guest, is last year we would always ask our guests, hey, like, what's your song for the year? This year, we are asking our guests, what is your power word for 2020? And then can you tell us why you picked that word?
Yeah, so it's cultivated perspective. And that's you. If you see my post or everything on top of saying, you'll see that's my hashtag. And basically, it's really me changing my mindset and looking through it from not just a new lens, but a cultivated lens, and really getting the perspective that I need and that's necessary for where I'm trying to go. Because everybody says, oh yeah, 2020 vision. I'm seeing perfect. No. I don't want to see perfect. I want to have the culture, the one that's specific for where I'm at and what I got going on, and then be able to apply and do what's necessary. So that's the word that I'm sharing, for Talk with Tanya, but it's the one definitely for me.
Love that. Yes, cultivated vision. Mm-hmm. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Yes. You kind of shared with us a little bit already with some of the projects that you have in store for this year, with some of your new writing projects that you have. But are there any other projects in store for you in 2020? Any speaking engagements or anything?
Sure. So those two I talked about, Due Season is not in Volume 2. That's not this year. Child,
I'm trying to push your release date up. I'm sorry, my bad.
Because I'm always writing. Like seriously, I was somewhere. I think I was listening to Stephen Furtick, and he was like, "Yeah, put that in my Google Notes." I was like, "That's me too." Like I'm writing in my Google Notes, book titles, all of that. I was like, so I'm always writing.
You're speaking to my writer heart.
Yeah. And I'm a nerd too. So, but yeah. So, but the project that's coming out this year is Motivated Effort. And it's long awaited, but it is coming out this year. And so basically it's just talking to you about it starts with you. It's the inside job, can't nobody do it for you, So to get going, it got to be done within you and from you first. So that's the project that's coming out this year. I always have message merch that I'm releasing. Basically, I'm about, a saying that actually has a meaning, aka a message behind it. So if, I'm always releasing apparel, buttons. I come in love with message buttons, so I have a ton of those. Coasters, stickers, so I have all different type of message merch on my website at shop.tanyajmiller.com. And then I think I'm going to probably release some new online courses. I have some out there right now, probably like 7 or 8. Some of them are free, varying in prices. Mm-hmm. But I think I'm going to release a couple of new ones this year as well at my school, at school.tanyajmiller.com. But y'all, I got a mixtape.
What?
Wait.
Hold up.
You be on the mic, girl.
We not just go slide.
I'm not rapping. But I got a mixtape on all digital outlets. It's called Talk with Tanya, the mixtape, Volume 1.
Are you you doing speaking? What is it called?
Spoken word?
Spoken word, yes.
Yeah, so I'm speaking. So basically you hearing me now talking. So remember, I just told y'all I've been doing Talk with Tanya for 15 years. So it's a ton of content through the years that didn't get necessarily transferred over, emails, MySpace, you know what I'm saying? But I still have all of it. And so because this, what do they call it? It's my, what do they call it? It's my catalog. I got my masters. I can release it and relaunch it in a new way and give it to you guys. So that's what I'll be doing through mixtapes and through probably 30-day devotionals as well. Because that was always the plan, to do it, not the mixtapes, but the devotionals, to release them and pack as that. So I'm going to be doing a combination of mixtapes and devotionals probably from now on, but I'm doing another mixtape probably sometime in the fall that I'll be releasing. But yeah, it's called Talk with Tanya Mixtape Volume 1. That's out, Spotify, all that. But basically, it's me talking over a dope beat. They did their thing. The mixers and producers, they just mixed it in. So it's out there.
Wow.
I was like, okay, that's kind of hot.
We was about to ask, you need some background.
Listen, we can do a little, we got bars.
Tanya.
Right.
Talking with Tanya.
Hey.
I was expecting. So I like what the finished product was. And like I said, I plan on doing some more. But yeah. So.
You down with TWT?
Hey, you know me. Hey. Yay.
Yeah, so check me out and, definitely follow me on social media on talkwithtanya.com and join the fam.
No, that's awesome. I'm excited about that because Terry and I we got some underground stuff too. We haven't put it out, but we got a few tracks too that we about to put out.
We should put out a mixtape of just like either random sayings we've said on the show or you just confirmed some stuff for us. Okay, it's possible.
So this went both ways. You said we were all in your Kool-Aid, girl. Yeah. We were just the sugar, and you were
the water.
You were the water.
No, the flavor.
Or was she the Kool-Aid? I have enjoyed it. I don't know. Seriously, I have enjoyed it.
Oh, yes, we have enjoyed you so much too. I've got one more question, and then we're gonna let you go. Okay. All right. We just want to know, how can our listeners connect with you? Social media, email, any of that stuff?
Sure. So, my website, TanyaJMiller.com, TanyaJMiller.com. All the links are on there, but to get to the store, the shop, is shop.TanyaJMiller.com. Mm-hmm. To check out any of the online courses, school.TanyaJMiller.com. If you're interested in booking me for speaking, working with me for coaching or organizational and leadership strategy sessions, the links are all on the website, the contact forms as well. If you're looking to find me on social media, I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Talking with Tanya. And then, like I said, the mixtape is Talk with Tanya Mixtape Volume 1 on all digital outlets. I'm on Amazon. I'm not offended if you don't buy my books on Amazon. I mean, on my website. Buy them on Amazon because I love crime. I'm gonna get my coins out of the way. I'm on Amazon.
She wants all her coins, y'all. Go to TanyaJMiller.com.
Yes.
Help us. Yeah, we're gonna do it the right way.
Right.
My books are the books are available in print, digital, and audio because I'm an audio girl. I actually love audio books, which is crazy. My husband be like, "How you like audio when you're a writer?" I said, don't judge me. I love it.
No, I feel you on that because I'm like that too.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with a little audio.
So the books are available print, digital, and audio. The journals are only available in print, but I'm thinking of possibly making the journals digital as well. And then if you want to join the fam, that's what I call anybody that loves and connects with me. If you want to join the fam, it's bit.ly, all caps, join fam. That's it, JOINFAM, and you get 20% off your first order at my store. So check me out.
Make sure you hit her up.
And I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all have had a great time.
Yes.
With Ms. Terry and Ms. Young.
Oh, you are so sweet. We have thoroughly enjoyed you speaking with you and having a conversation with you as well.
Yeah, I can only imagine now when we officially meet in person.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, we got to have, a lunch or something to do
Absolutely.
something together.
Yes.
I am in.
Yes.
I'm down for it.
And also condolences to your family on the loss of your grandmother this week. You were definitely in our thoughts and prayers for sure.
We're getting through. She is definitely healed on the other side of this. So
amen.
I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much, Tanya, for joining us today on the show and for allowing us to amplify yet another beautiful Black voice. The mission of our show is to amplify the voices of Black women, share our stories of personal transformation while, sharing our lessons together and celebrating our successes. So thank you for sharing with us today.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm happy to have been a part of it.
Yes.
Well, guys, ladies, and our few good men.
Yes.
If you're listening, as with all things, they all must come to an end. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, we have reached the end of today's conversation. But you can always catch back up. And you can rewind and we can replay us.
That's right.
You can replay Tanya talking through.
Yes.
You can go get my mama said, the things my mama said.
Yes.
And all other, but just make sure you go to Tanya J. Miller, all right?
Yes. And
until next time, you guys,
melanate on that. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed our chat today. Keep the conversation going by heading to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and leaving us a review.
Have a story of your own to share? Email us at info@melanatedconversations.com or connect with us on social media at Melanated Conversations. Till next time, keep raising your voice.